What up? High noon on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. My name's Mitch Nellis. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Wirtz is in the building as well. Good day, Mr. Mason.
Good day. Late night last night.
Yeah, for some of us.
Yeah, did y'all stay up for that Dodgers Blue Jays
Tommy?
game?
I will admit, I didn't tune in until extra innings.
Oh, you didn't even watch the game, bro.
Well, first of all, I watched the whole game of baseball.
Yeah.
Still, it went 18
which
innings.
is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
That-
I saw the 3-run homer, and I was like, oh, all right. And then I did not expect it to end like that. I definitely was asleep and saw the aftermath this morning.
When Ohtani hit that home run to tie it at 5, that's when I went to bed. I did stay up for all 18 innings in 2018, as you can imagine, when the Dodgers and Red Sox.
Was that the last time that happened?
That's the only other time
Wow.
it's ever happened. There are now 2 18-inning World Series games in the history of Earth. They are both Game 3 in LA. One was in
That's
2018 when Max Muncy, who's still currently on the team, hit a home run, a walk-off. And of course, last night when Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off for the Dodgers. I will share with Blue Jays fans who are depressed today that in 2018, the Red Sox still won the World Series.
Yeah.
And now they were up to, now that was the Dodgers' first win. The Red Sox were up 2-0. So it was a little different than being down 2-1. But just because you win an 18-inning game doesn't mean, but what a wild, wild night. And what a difference in baseball, Mason, this whole concept of during the regular season where you start with a runner on second every inning of the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's
you don't do that in the playoffs at all.
I was
and
wondering how it went that long. Like I didn't dive deep enough into it.
I actually like that they don't have the runner on second. I like that you have to earn that run. But it does make games go much longer because teams aren't used to going that long. They're used to having the guy on second. They're used to 12 innings, I think is maybe the most a game's ever gone since we've had that runner on second base. But we used to have 15-inning games. We used to have, the Brewers and White Sox in 83 played a 26-inning game.
Oh my gosh.
Like craziness can happen, and it just doesn't happen anymore except in the playoffs.
Before we get to the dive into Packers and back into reality, because last night felt like an alternate universe.
It was.
I'm just going to read these stats off. I'm sure a lot of people saw them, but if you didn't, the World Series Game 3 featured 18 innings, 6 hours, 39 minutes, 609 pitches, 130 at-bats, 19 pitchers, 5 home runs, 4 Ohtani IBBs at Clayton Kershaw and Waldo. That was, which I love that part. But
Waldo,
so great.
And Marlins man.
Marlin, he's everywhere.
Yeah,
he's everywhere. Who at this moment through 3 games, who's the MVP? It's Ohtani, right?
Dude, he reached base 9 times last night.
Unreal.
The
That's
most
unreal.
ever in the World Series had been 6. 9 times in Major League Baseball.
In the postseason.
In the postseason. It's only happened 3 times in all of Major League Baseball.
That's crazy.
Like since the 1890s. It's only happened 3 times. The last time was 1954. And then what was the stat that the first thing that happened? Oh, that he had 2 home runs and 2 doubles. So
multiple.
He had four extra base hits. The first time since in the World Series since 1906.
He's the first player to have multiple home run games in the postseason as well. 3, I guess 3 multiple home run games in a postseason. Do you think people does he hang out with people?
No.
When I see him in the dugout and stuff, he's always just kind of by himself.
I saw him talking to Muncy. I saw him talking to Freddie.
Do you think he's one of the guys?
Oh yeah. I'm sure he has the effect and the draw of just how awesome he is.
You want to be near him and be like, okay, what?
Let me aura farm of Shohei Ohtani. Yes, 100%. But I can't imagine he does anything other than just watch baseball, study baseball.
He seems like a little kid, doesn't he? Is that just me? He kind of seems immature, young in his behavior.
I think he's 30 too.
I know, but he just even when he calls timeout and he smiles and he's just checking with the the umpire, and then he's
you can say that he has maybe some of the most gratitude for the game of baseball.
I think that might be it. Maybe that's what I'm seeing. It's he just really respects like the flow and all the nuance of the game, because it's like different where he's like, when he calls timeout, it's almost like it's honoring, right? It's appreciative. It's like, thank you for the timeout.
Yeah, he's a freak. And
awesome.
Everyone knew he was going to be a freak from whenever. And to have him on this stage and to get on base 9 times. I mean, the only other comparison right now, it's not Babe Ruth, it's Barry Bonds. Like this is unreal, unheard of. 4 intentional walks. This is fear. This is something that not a lot of Major League Baseball players have. All of them have talent. The best ones have consistency. The best of all times have fear, and you are afraid to face Shohei Ohtani right now.
It's not go ahead, Mace.
Do you think he's juicing then? Like, if
no,
you're comparing him to Bonds?
I think he's that good.
I think he's just
okay. I didn't know.
Maybe
I didn't know where the comparisons were.
I think he might be made in the
being
lab.
Unpitchable, like that. He's going to get a hit or walked every time. It's not the easiest thing in the world to just walk him and face Mookie and Freddie. Blue Jays manager John Schneider said, you got to really execute at a high level against him. I think the first couple of games we did, I think that we executed pretty well, minus today. He's a great player and took some really good swings today. You trust the pitcher to pitch around him, because in the 7th, when he hit the home run, they were trying to pitch around him. But sometimes for pitchers, it's hard to do that when you're just kind of trying to throw a ball. He didn't put it where he wanted to put it. Ohtani had a great game. He's a great player, but I think after that, you just kind of take the bat out of his hands. He was asked if that strategy will extend the rest of the series. He says, yeah.
You cannot let him affect the game anymore.
We also have back-to-back here. I have Freddie Freeman's home runs and Max Muncy's home run from 2018. I just thought that would be a fun listen.
Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes me. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
Game 4 start, but it ends up being almost a Game 3 start.
Muncy flies one in the air to left center. Back at the wall, and it's gone! It's over! Muncy, a walk-off home run to win Game 3 in the 18th.
Night. I love
Double.
that. But
2 games in 1. Let's get it.
But funny that Max Muncy are still on the team.
Yeah.
It is 7 years later, and he's the only other person on earth who knows the feelings that Freddie Freeman is feeling today.
Exactly. That is interesting. Yeah, for sure.
But
Freeman, he's got to be one of the most, clutch performers.
Yes.
Here in the postseason. I mean, like last year he was clutch. This year he's just
the grand slam off of our best friend Nestor Cortez.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Best friend.
Whoa! He was a Brewer this year.
Yeah.
He gave us one good start and one horrible start. Right? Is that like it?
Yeah, there it is.
Worse pitching stats as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers than Jake Bauers. Fact.
Well, yeah, but he also wasn't given the opportunity like Bauers was. Bauers pitched in more games than Nestor
Bauers had
Cortez
all
did.
all the opportunities that Jake Bauers had as a pitcher.
So what? So now what? Like Mason, you have been in crazy, heartbreaking games, and you didn't play in a sport that had series.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is they played at night. At 7 o'clock.
Right. Like how much of a hangover for both teams? Like, do you think there could be? I mean, the Dodgers had all this emotion that they won. The Blue Jays have the emotion that they lost. I will say that again, back in 2018, the Red Sox lost Game 3. They came back and won Games 4 and 5 in LA to win the World Series.
Yeah.
But they didn't have Shohei Ohtani on the mound.
I almost think, I think advantage leans a little towards Toronto at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's, that juice and all that, but you almost, that huge relief and release from hitting that home run and winning that game in 18 innings has to take a toll on you as a player of oh my gosh, you just a huge letdown. It's a huge celebration, but I don't know how the body, the endorphins, all those things.
Right.
But I feel like
the Blue Jays
all
never
that
got
build
that
up.
high. Right.
And the Blue Jays were just kind of holding their breath, trying to get there. Now they're like, all right, lock back in. We're going to focus. Dodgers, they're professional, they're very established veteran team. But I think some of that energy was probably expended at the end there. So I could see the Blue Jays maybe trying to steal this one tonight, but yeah, this thing is pretty much over. I think the Dodgers are gonna roll here the next few games if they don't win
say
tonight.
One more insane Shohei Ohtani stat for you guys?
Sure. Right. He's pitching tonight.
Shohei, yeah, that's another
Who
one.
is pitching?
It's going to be Shohei
pitches.
probably, right? Shohei Ohtani's World Series OPS right now is 2.83.
2.
2000.
And
now, is that this year or this year?
No,
and last
this year. This
Okay,
year's
that's
OPS.
crazy.
But now his last 4 games, Shohei Ohtani is 9 for 15 with 6 homers and 2 doubles and 7 walks. His 4-game span of an OPS right now is the highest in MLB history at 2.661.
Well, what he did in Game 4 against the Brewers is,
I would argue yesterday was more impressive.
By Shohei.
Yeah,
No.
Getting on base 9 times is insane. That's
insane.
never happened.
But
and I know what he did was
right, but
like
5 of them he was given.
Yeah, I understand.
That's still respect, and that's still fantastic.
And he pitched as well in Game 4,
exactly,
so that was also equally impressive.
Yeah.
I would
Well,
just say
not equally impressive. 7,000 times more impressive.
I completely disagree with the ratio you have right now.
7,000.
Getting
At
on base
least.
9 times doesn't that is unreal.
Right, getting on base 9 times has never happened in the playoffs. Has happened twice in baseball history. Hitting 3 home runs in a game and striking out 10 guys in a game has never happened in baseball history.
Look,
so one is one of 3. One is one of 1.
So 9,000 is a terrible ratio. Okay,
3,000.
thank you.
You're right. 3,000 is a better ratio.
good
Thank you.
job,
How many
Matt.
games
Thank
have
you.
ever been played? 3 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
I think getting on base 9 times. I think this is good.
It's unbelievable.
I think it's a good look for the Brewers to be like,
Listen,
okay, maybe he's
it's
just
all unbelievable, right?
unreal.
Can we all
Yes.
agree? It's all
Yes.
what he's doing. He is breaking the game.
What's the football
He is
equivalent?
breaking the game.
What's the football equivalent of Shohei Ohtani's numbers right now, Mason? What's the
Jeez.
what is it like?
It's
Calvin
got to be
Johnson?
playing both ways.
Like, oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's got to
I
be
mean,
Dion.
It's
but
got to
like-
be like a Dion situation. Like you compared it when Dion had a
Had
punt
the pick
return,
six, punt
pick
return,
six,
and a reception.
Yeah,
But it's got to be like all that. But he also had like 10 for 120 and a touchdown. Not
and it
one
also,
reception.
Yeah, and it also
And
has to
10
come
tackles.
in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Or
Right.
like in the NFC
the championship
Championship.
game,
Like,
yeah.
it's like it has to come in that critical moment as well. And that just like you don't always get that opportunity. So
No.
it's a very, very rarefied air. And he is just, he's just different. I mean, I don't know if there is a comparison to anything. It's just being perfect, like completing. Like if Jordan Love had thrown 28 passes in a row or
Right.
whatever.
Like, that's
I don't
amazing,
know.
but
yeah.
I do wonder, and we talked about this just now. I do wonder 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 2 doubles and the 5 walks, the focus that it takes to be involved in an 18-inning game. I do wonder how that does affect him tonight, because no other starting pitcher has to do what he did last night offensively.
He's
and
gonna
then
come out and
then
start.
respond. And he's had.
If anyone can do it, he can. He's
Right.
gonna
But
go
also-
and deal and
but-
be a baller.
But he's not a good as. I mean, he has had blips as a starting pitcher this year. Like he's
Yes.
not like and starting pitchers have.
I like
listen,
you're bringing us back to earth.
right.
but
Listen, Blake Snell was unhittable in Milwaukee. Was
Yeah.
not unhittable in Toronto in Game 1. Like like pitching is weird sometimes.
But then you have Yamamoto going 9.
Right.
You know?
Which,
It's like-
I
that's
almost
another machine.
I almost
Seriously.
think that it's more likely in my brain that Shohei Ohtani throws a perfect game
Like 8
as
shutout
opposed to
innings.
he gets
Yeah.
shelled.
I
today.
agree.
Like,
I agree.
Like is there more likely
if that happens,
Yeah.
like what does the game of
No.
baseball just cease to exist?
Yes.
It
They
should-
just say like it's
Just stop.
done. Like there's nothing that can ever match or compare this. Why would we even keep playing?
they shouldn't even let the series should be over if Shohei throws a perfect game.
I
I think
don't
they
even
just say
get to play.
Shohei, we'll give you $1 billion. Please let somebody else
Yeah.
play baseball.
We should call it the Shohei Ohtani Trophy if you win the World Series.
Seriously.
if he throws a
If
perfect.
he throws a perfect game, hits 3 home runs.
He's just still reaches base 12 times.
Oh my gosh.
He's unreal and he's great for the game of baseball. Like just
Oh, for
call it
sure.
what it is because he's unreal and unlike any other athlete in any other sport right now.
Okay, we got some comments in the Nicolay Law fan
right,
talking
let's go.
text line, which I'm liking some of these. Okay, 414 says, I mean, guys, baseball is a grind, but when it comes to October, it is a true grind.
Yes, it is.
Last night was definitely that. 262 says that's Ziggy says getting on base 9 times is the kicker equivalent of kicking 5 60+ yard field goals and making them all. Is that in the game?
In a game.
In a game.
In one game. Boswell was pretty close.
Yeah,
Sunday night.
yeah, because that's like what Aubrey has 5 in his career, his short career.
Right.
But I would say yes, in a game, sure.
Yeah,
that would be wild.
Yeah, because you need opportunity.
Because it's opportunity
too.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like that. I like that comparison. Yeah.
920 says, as a Brewers fan, I really don't want to hear about the World Series and especially how great Ohtani is because we can never afford a player like that.
It's false.
The payroll disparity is frustrating. All right.
Yeah.
I love that. I wanted to read that one specifically because I was thinking in our 120s, usually kind of gets business as sports.
Sure.
We start diving in. I wanted to revisit that conversation of is it a choice for like the Brewers or some of these teams like to not lean into these long run out businesses? And also I want to have that conversation. If the Packers, if the NFL were to go to a system like MLB and just say like, all right, every team for themselves, no sharing, like, would they be competitive in the NFL market?
The Packers?
Yeah, the Packers.
No, they would move within seconds.
They would just move
within seconds.
Okay.
There would be no team in Green
we're going to
Bay.
talk more about this at 120.
The Dodgers overwhelming favorite tonight. Last night they were minus 200. Tonight they're minus 215. According to the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Blue Jays plus 175. Over-under is 8 tonight. So I'll flip that one to you guys too real quick before we get to break, and then we'll talk about the odds of the NFC North and the NFC. But before we get to that, do you think like the pitcher, because the starting pitchers didn't pitch last night, so the starting pitchers are fresh, but all the bullpen, I mean, everybody pitched from the bullpen. Is tonight the kind of night where like the pitchers just don't have it and the hitters just hit, or are the hitters also tired? And like everybody's lethargic and nobody scores and it's like 2-1, but like not a good 2-1, like a boring, almost lack of effort 2-1.
I'm going to be watching because I'm definitely curious to see how they respond from an 18 inning game. Like I think it's great for sports to just be like, all right, how do these teams respond from the grind of what last night was? Just reloading and getting back out there. I think I could see it being more of, I don't know. I could see the batters being tired. I think the pitchers will come back. They can rotate and figure out, who's throwing and doing whatever. I see bats being a little sluggish tonight.
Here's the daily pick, right? You got to take the under on Will Smith. He caught 18 innings of baseball yesterday.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like Kirk came out.
Yeah,
he did not play the whole game.
Will Smith played the whole game.
I didn't even think about that. Imagine being a catcher.
Yeah.
Like he caught 300 pitches yesterday.
He caught a doubleheader basically.
Yeah, so
and he's got to go right back at it today.
I doubt they're going to start Ben Rortvart or whatever you pronounce his name.
Flurgan.
Did you say?
Like Rortvat.
Did you word fart?
That was Jameis Winston catching for them.
That was Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
By the way, 414 continues, Mason.
Guys,
I know it's early, but we could have a guy in that in the way of Churio. He's not there, but
he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. And I think I think you're going to be appreciative of having a guy like Jackson Churio on your team, but I don't like
it's not
no Shohei Ohtani. He can't pitch. He's not pitching. He's not.
Right.
I mean, he's just not Shohei Ohtani.
But if he can control a game with his bat, the way Ohtani, the fear of Ohtani,
he's going to grow into a formidable, formidable.
He
guy.
Needs the fear.
All right, so
he needs to build the fear.
We have a couple business questions that I'm gonna read them right now, but let's not answer them until we get to the 120. So for 920, hold on. 920 says, I call BS on Packers moving within seconds. We have no true owner. The people would never allow it to happen. Okay, table that one.
Yeah.
414 says, is it crazy to think that Ohtani is underpaid? Okay, let's table. Yep.
I mean, that's crazy to think, but it is probably true.
And then 414 says, current players, Sidney Crosby. Guy's unbelievable and does it on skates. Not so much anymore, but he did dominate.
In his prime.
Yeah, in his prime. But not to what Ohtani's doing.
From out of the gates, though, I think you could look at someone like that.
Involved. How did hockey?
I love it. You're just looking across all sports,
right.
Right.
Wayne Gretzky is the answer, and that he's won and then the list is over. Close.
That's kind of true.
Like put it in the briefcase and seal it in the safe. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz in his house. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. The Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. That's what everybody's chiming in on. We are live on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. WI Sports Radio. You need that at WI Sports Radio. You can chime in on comment on the YouTube as well. We're going to switch it up, talk some Packers when we come back. Look at the odds in the NFC North and in the NFC. Maybe hear a little bit from Matt LaFleur, who spoke yesterday. And then we got some Bucks to talk about today as well. Ryan Wood from the Green Bay Press-Gazette will join us at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. For Mason Crosby, I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Tommy, come on.
We are the Mason Crosby Show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz here as well. Game 4 of the World Series is tonight. We'll be watching, but we definitely will. Yes, but we are also in the middle of a Packers week, and it's a Human Tuesday. So today everybody's off, right, Mace?
Yep.
Right?
Just chilling, relaxing. not doing anything.
But
wait, no, they're not.
They're working. Some of them are.
Some are.
LaFleur was working yesterday. I know he talked to the media, and so we'll sneak a little listen on to what he had to say. But after this is now the second week that the Packers are the number 1 team in the NFC. They got there last week. Oh, maybe a little bit by default. Other teams had to lose, and that's what happens. But the Packers kept winning. The Packers are the number 1 seed. They are ahead of the Lions in the NFC North. They are ahead of the Lions and the Eagles, specifically in the NFC. And we're at week 8, 9. We're halfway through the season.
Week 8,
essentially.
Yeah. So
is that a week that players look at? The players look at, oh, we're halfway through. Does that tell you something about the season you're having, or what you can still accomplish if you started slow, or what you need? Like the Colts, who started fast. Do they think, oh, we still got to keep this up? How does the midway point affect things in the NFL?
This is a good checkpoint. So what are they? 5-1-1. So technically now with 17
with a bye though.
Yeah, with 17 games, you're not quite there yet. As far as your schedule, but I think that week 9, that area is a good checkpoint. Like you just say, okay, where are we? Evaluate. I know that coaches, they're going to evaluate scheme and look at breaking some tendencies, stuff like that. So this is the time of the season where you're going to start seeing some new wrinkles or some plays that maybe they had tried throughout the first 8 games. They're going to throw those in the trash if they didn't work out. Mm-hmm. You just kind of clean everything up, and you kind of become who you're going to be for the rest of the season, right? This is where you start stacking all of that success. Or if you have failure, you're going to try to really try to reinvent the wheel and go and figure it out from there. But as far as the Packers are concerned, I think today they're just looking at it, game planning, really getting locked in. I had texted Nathaniel Hackett to see if he could come on today, but he is actually working. He's in Green Bay.
It's Human Tuesday.
But he's helping he's up there working on game plan, kind of doing scheme stuff, looking at the defense. Looking at the offense from for the defense, helping the defense from the offensive perspective, and trying to just give them some guidance and as they formulate a plan, as they're they have Carolina coming to town, which we talked yesterday to Peter Bukowski about this type of game is a tough one. You have a tough, high energy, high emotion game against the Steelers on a Sunday night. You have a Carolina team that can kind of go either direction with how they play on a week in, week out basis. I think that's fair. And then you have the Eagles on the horizon. So this is one of those where it's all right, don't look ahead. Don't focus on anything but what this team is, what they bring to the table, and get locked in. And then everything's right in front of you from this point on.
So to this point, we're looking at the Eagles, we're looking at the Lions, we're looking at the Buccaneers, we're looking at the Seahawks, and we're looking at the Rams. Those teams with the Packers, the NFC is becoming pretty top heavy with those teams. All what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams all have winning percentages over 700.
Yeah.
And I know the 49ers thought they'd be there, but they kind of messed me up on my picks against the Texans this week. But on it, you have 6 of these teams. It's great being number 1. Is it important right now on October 28th? Does it matter if you're first or if you're fourth in that chase, if they're all 1 game apart, and knowing that things are still going to, still going to fluctuate?
It matters because you beat Carolina, then you have a tough game against the Eagles. You have some NFC games, here on the horizon that are rolling in pretty heavy. So you want to just keep winning. You have to try to get out to a 2-3 game lead if you can. If that's possible, if chips fall where you hope they might, you kind of get a little cushion going into that game against Detroit on Thanksgiving. So maybe you have you have a game and a half up, or you have, two games up on them, 2.5 games, something like that, where losing that game won't just make that last, 6 games or 5 games just this dire, like, we have to win these because the Lions are rolling. We got to battle this thing out. Like, if you can build a cushion, if something happens, Lions lose, and you can get out in front of them, that is where this next run comes from. So they played 7 games. So technically they have, I guess, 1.5 games until it's halftime of the season.
Yeah.
So they're still in the second quarter of the season.
Halftime of that Philly game will be the halfway point of the season.
Exactly. And then you kind of shift into that third quarter. So my mind is they're doing what they need to. Like, you play great in a game, in a season, you need to roll into the halfway point playing really solid ball.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to come out of half and be really consistent and solid. And then you kind of know where you're at, right? You're either going to hold on and find a way, and you win down the stretch to go to the playoffs, or you get caught and you're behind and you have to go and push. So the season, just think of it as a 4-quarter game. Yeah. And if you look at it in that mindset,
so it's almost
kind of evens it up.
414-677-1250 is the phone number. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Are you bought in that the Packers are the best team in the NFC? Do they have something more to prove to you? And as we look at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Mason,
I was going to ask about odds.
All right, so who do you think is favored to win the NFC right now?
They probably have Philly.
Philly is 3rd.
So is it Tampa?
Tampa is 5th.
Okay, because I think Green Bay is like Green Bay is not first. Detroit. Green Bay is just the Lions and the Packers are literally as close as you can be without being tied. The Lions are plus 325. The Packers are plus 350. So the Lions are the favored team right now in the NFC to win the championship. But the Packers are they the favorites to win the NFC North?
The Packers are favored to win the NFC North. Again, it's a very slight favorite over the Lions, but they are favored to win the NFC North. But the Lions,
in my mind, that can't exist in my world.
Well, but remember that
Lions
that
can't go to Green Bay,
right?
And yes, I get that.
Yeah.
So the money side, whatever people are betting, but as far as logically, logically, if Lions have to come through Green Bay, that's not going to happen. No, so Lions have to win the North. I feel like to have a chance to win the NFC.
Well, and if they had to go, if they had to go through Green Bay and Philly and LA, now the Rams isn't as big. That's not as, but Seattle would
Philly,
be.
Philly, Seattle, Green Bay, like those are going to be Tampa, those are tough places.
Tampa's a tough place in December. Like those fans go crazy, and you love.
Yeah, they have a good fan base. They shoot that
and
cannon off.
Baker,
and they have Baker.
They got Baker, right? It's just
Baker,
right? Yeah. 414-677-1250. Are you bought in that Detroit is the favorite in the? That's crazy to me. I was surprised.
That is surprising.
Right. I even thought Philly would be higher. Like I would be more. I think I'd be more. I would have expected more that Philly would have been the favorite to win the NFC, being the defending champion, knowing that there's not really any risk. They are easily them and Tampa are easily the biggest favorites in any division.
Yeah,
right now.
Sure. Yeah.
And so just like far and away, they're going to win the division.
So do you lean in and are you okay with these types of like the betting lines and like odds favorites? Is that better for you than like power rankings?
Yes.
Because it's like,
because that gives you an idea of what the people think and where the money is.
You don't like the opinion on the power rankings.
No, because opinion can be emotional. And I know there are some emotional gamblers out there, but the whales aren't betting emotionally. They're betting based on they're betting based on what they've seen. All right, so I'm going to flip it on you with the gambling question now. And I'm guessing when you were on the Packers, you didn't know who was favored. Like you knew what the spread was in a game, but you weren't looking in week 7 or week 8. Hey, like the Packers wouldn't know that Detroit is favored to win the NFC, but you're not.
No, there was never a conversation.
Do you think now that gambling's legal that somebody's bringing that up? And do you think anybody uses that for fuel? Like I get that if you're the underdog going in this Sunday against the Lions, on Thanksgiving Day,
that line.
right.
The line's only literally if like they have them set, and yes, you are the underdog,
right?
Like those are the talking points.
But nobody's using
we aren't
this
favored in this,
right?
Yeah.
Nobody's using the NFC Championship conference winner as bulletin board material.
No, you just look at your record, and you say, like all that matters is wins and losses. Whenever you're in that locker room in that building, and you say exactly what I was saying: stack as many as you can, because the odds are there's going to be a blip on the radar at some point where it's like, okay, if you can get to that Detroit game and have a game and a half on them, and then you end up losing that game, you are still okay, right?
Right.
Heading into the final games of the season. So you don't want to go into that game and then be like kind of beholden to the team that you need to beat and have them like have something happen. So like the Packers, the biggest games coming up are these next few games to get them to that NFC showdown against the Lions and have a little cushion so that they're not chasing there in those last 5 games or so.
And you mentioned that blip, Mason, and I know that tie was a blip, and like that tie is kind of helping them right now that it wasn't a loss. It would have been better if it was a win. But I think that, and I don't know how much you guys thought about this too, is like, as a fan, thank goodness that blip was against the Browns. Not that it's the Browns, because like it's terrible that the Packers lost to the Browns, but thank goodness it was not in the division or in the conference.
Yeah,
like it was a non-conference loss. Yeah. So like you look at Philly has a division loss.
Issue.
Tampa has 2 conference losses. Like Seattle has a division loss and 2 conference losses. Detroit has obviously they have a division and conference loss because to the Packers, but it just like, you never want to lose to the Browns, but you'd rather lose to the Browns than the Panthers because it's out of the conference, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And then I'm looking at like the division standings, like on TV right now, and just thinking like, what was the longest streak for an undefeated team last year? Was it 9 games?
It was more than this year's was.
Yeah. Like it feels like the parity in the NFL this year is greater than ever. I mean, there's only one loss. Well, I guess there's 2 one-loss teams.
Yeah,
with the Packers.
Colts and Packers.
I always forget the tie.
Right.
And then there's a ton of 2-loss teams. I mean, this thing's gonna be tight down the stretch. Like you can't give up a couple games and then like hope to work your way back. I feel like it's gonna come down to the wire.
Yeah.
And like I said, if the Packers can have a 2-game lead going into the last like 4 weeks, like that's what you need, because it's going to get tight there at the end of the season.
The top 6 teams in the NFC are separated by 1 game. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law talking text line. 414-677-1250. Ron in Rome is on the Mason Crosby Show. How you doing, Ron?
Good. Hey, thanks for bringing a new show to Wisconsin. That's good to listen to.
Absolutely.
Our Ron, pleasure. Appreciate you.
It really irritates me that they're picking the Lions ahead of us because, Dan Campbell turned around a terrible franchise. He's a dynamic personality that's really fun to watch, and he gets his team all fired up and everything. But he hasn't won any big games. He's overly aggressive in his big games, and he goes on 4th down when he shouldn't. And so, what has he won that makes him, better than us? Plus, we kicked their butt in the first week.
You're not wrong.
I like it, Ron.
You're not wrong about week 1.
Yeah,
I think
you got to prove it.
Right. And both teams, luckily or thankfully, no pun intended, both teams will have Thanksgiving Day to prove it. And, that's why only 7 games through, it doesn't really matter. That's why it's gambling, because you're taking, you're risking your money on who you think is going to win. But you're right. I mean, right now, as we know, the Packers are the 1 seed, the Lions are the 5 seed, and that's just fact. That's not opinion. That's not emotional. Ron, thanks for the call.
It's facts. Appreciate you, Ron.
Can I say something?
Of course.
Hold on, Mason. Should we talk, Mason?
Yeah. Hey, what do you want to talk about, Mitch?
Do you think? Is
there another person?
Should we let Tommy talk?
Let's let him talk.
All
right.
Let
him say
what do you got, Tommy?
I don't weigh that week 1 victory at all for this Green Bay Packers team.
Okay.
I virtually think it means nothing other than it is a notch in the win column for Green Bay, which means something. But I don't think that that's the same Lions team. I don't think that this Packers team and that Lions team have that matchup again, regardless of where they play. If it is in Detroit on Thanksgiving or in the playoffs at Lambeau, I don't think that game means anything. I don't think the Lions were ready for that day, and I think they're a completely different team. And I think saying, "Oh, well, we beat them week 1."
True with everyone? Isn't that true with
Sure,
no team in
but
October
again, if
is
we're
who they are at the end of December?
For sure.
But I'm saying right now to be like, "Well, we beat them week 1." Like, no, that's different. Like, I don't think that win means the same. Like, I don't think the Packers are that much better than the Lions.
It weighs the same regardless of when it was. Like, it's a win against a division opponent that you're carrying all the way through until late November.
Sure, I just think
that's big.
Right. I think Matt LaFleur was ready and Dan Campbell wasn't week 1. I think they're both ready now. That's where I'm at.
I will politely in this moment disagree that the Lions coming to Lambeau Field in the playoffs wouldn't be a different scenario than like Green Bay having to go play in Detroit.
Sure.
Like that, like you have to have that. If Green Bay has to go play in Detroit, like that worries me a lot.
Yeah.
But if Detroit has to come through Green Bay, I feel really good about Green Bay's chances of getting past that one.
I'm just saying that people will say that win was the most or is the most impressive win on the season. I disagree. I think it was Pittsburgh this past week, because I feel like that's a better litmus test as to who these teams
on
actually
the road
are.
Sunday night. Yeah.
Yes, I just think that the Lions win is. It's
great
great that it happened in the
Lions
moment.
One is more meaningful.
It just I get it
because it's a conference win, it's a division win.
Didn't the Lions put up 52 points the next week?
They did.
So it's like they figured it out really fast.
And I think in the scheme of how the standings work in the NFL, like a division win's always going to be more meaningful than an out of conference win.
For the technicality's sake, yes, it matters. But I'm telling you, the excuse of like, oh, well, we beat them week 1. Like, it's 2 months ago.
They still have to play, right? They still play each other in 3 weeks.
Until you play each other on Thanksgiving.
Right. Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't factor it in almost at all as far as how I feel about a matchup of Packers versus Lions on a day-to-day basis.
But see, here's the beauty is that the Packers would still hold the lead in the division had they lost to the Cowboys because of that game.
Sure.
Right? So, it carries a lot of weight.
It does in the sense of like standings, but I'm talking about if I'm watching them and who I would pick to win a football game today. I don't factor in week 1 at all.
Okay. Yeah. And I think you should do that for all 32 teams, to be honest with you. I think all 32 teams are vastly different than they were 8 weeks ago.
Yep.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. I can argue that point. Yeah.
I don't disagree with your big picture point. I totally agree with. I think in terms of meaningfulness, it's a meaningful win because they have the win in the standings.
Sure.
But I think the two teams, I totally agree that they have different teams.
It's going to be a completely different matchup.
Meaningless for the future.
Yeah. It has no bearing on what's going to happen on Thanksgiving.
Going to happen.
Yes.
Like just saying we won that game doesn't mean you're going to go win.
I'm glad we could agree, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We agree on that.
Yeah.
I didn't agree on the meaningless point.
Right. Yeah. No, it didn't mean it. It was meaningless. He's Tommy Wirtz. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. Lots more to get to. Ryan Wood from the Green Bay Press-Gazette at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to talk some Bucks during the show as well. The sports equinox is over, and we made it through.
And it was a wild one.
It was a wild one.
It was a wild one.
It's exactly what we had planned.
We got 2 baseball games in 1.
All right.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are in the Wisconsin Sports Radio studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sports Book. Mace, Bucks home against the Knicks tonight. The Bucks right now, if the playoffs were to start tonight, the Bucks would be the 7 seed. They would host the Pistons in the play-in game.
Are we going to do this
every day? Yeah. The Hornets, Heat, Knicks, and Bucks are all 2-1, tied for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay.
So it's a big early season test against the Knicks because they're tied. This is big in the standings.
Is that how that works?
You need that tiebreaker.
You need to
It's
get.
like Packers Lions.
Is it good to beat a team that like you're tied with to try to get them? Okay.
Yeah, Tommy.
I didn't know. I don't know. Someone said in the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414 said whatever. Crack Tommy is smoking. I want in on that. So, whatever Tommy's doing.
Yeah,
I'm glad I can get engagement here.
Yeah, I love it.
You had a great point yesterday. Today, not so much.
That's just not. You cannot say that the Lions are as bad as what happened in Week 1.
No, but nobody's.
I'm not saying no one was saying they were bad. I think it was just
bad.
The Packers
who said they were
played
bad.
great, and they played great at home. Like I think the Lions are really good. So I think it was a quality, good win for the Packers.
Yeah, 4-1-4.
Just like the Lions had over the
Just
Bucks.
like this is going to happen to the Knicks
I need
tonight.
you guys on this crack so you can see what I'm seeing.
4-4 says it does matter. It planted a seed of doubt in the Lions players. They now know even if they play one of their best games, it may not be good enough. I don't know if I buy that.
They didn't play their best game. That's not what
Wow,
happened.
Tommy, are you a Lions fan? Like a little closet Lions fan?
Are you Hawaiian blue?
I feel like I have to like root for the Lions to never lose again in order to back this take.
Yeah, you are.
Like, no, I'm not.
Like if
you got money, you have money on that Thanksgiving game, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
We'll get some odds at Pana. We'll get some odds.
We definitely will. In the second hour of the show, Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, is going to join us right off the top. And then we'll talk more. We've got more Packers. We do want to hear a little Matt LaFleur. We'll talk a little more Bucks, more than the just one sentence we just mentioned. And we'll take more of your texts on the Nicolay Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. So keep those coming in. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are just having a blast here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Hi, Mason.
Hey,
How you
is
doing,
that
bud?
slots?
It sounds like it. Let's go.
What
Why
are we
not?
doing? Tommy's over there pulling slots. He's just going for the Lions.
All Lions all the time, baby.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Yeah, boy, hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. What up, Mace?
Oh, how's it going?
What's your gear today?
What am I wearing? I have Stable Reserve. I get y'all drank some of their whiskey before.
Okay, yeah.
And I have my Pacific Dunes Abandoned Dunes hat on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just rocking. I got a haircut, fresh haircut this morning.
You got an event coming up, or you just want to feel good?
I do have a dinner tonight with some friends, so I needed to clean it up a little bit. Might shave the face too,
Nice.
Get a little crazy.
I'll give a shout out. We got a dinner tonight here in Milwaukee as part of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, Sharp Literacy, which promotes literacy all around the state. They have their annual, and Donald Driver. I don't know if you heard of him. Driver's the guest. So. I don't know if he's the MC or the speaker or what he is.
He's the pick and save guy, right?
Yeah, he's the pick. He's the American Dental Association.
Got it.
American Dental,
He does
Smiles.
Pickleball guy?
Yeah, pickleball. Yeah.
What doesn't drive?
Man.
I mean,
pickleball, brushing his teeth and dancing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
and eating subs.
Spokesperson of for the Lake Geneva City Council or something.
Is he really?
Yeah, I met some of them. They're like, yeah, Driver's done our event the last 4 years.
Probably the mayor by now.
He probably
There's no AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
Did AJ Dillon have to give up his key? Did he drive over to Kuhn's house and give it to Kuhn or something? What happened?
No, I think he's still holding it. I see him put out content. He's like, no, we're and I think they'll always
they'll always have a space there. Yeah. Joining us now on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. He made the call, or we called him, or whatever call happened. But Mr. Ryan Wood is here. Ryan, welcome. Thanks for joining the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, a bit tired. So I got a question for you guys. 18-inning World Series game last night, wildly late.
Yes.
Did you stay up for the Freddie Freeman walk-off, or did you call it a night?
So Tommy did not watch any of the first 9 innings, but then watched the second 9 innings when he realized it was tied. I went to sleep after the Ohtani home run when he tied it at 5-5, his second home run. And Mason was kind of, what did you you were in and out and in and out?
Yeah, I was watching more of the football game. Whenever I saw Toronto hit the 3-run homer, I stopped switching back for a little bit, and then definitely fell asleep. Yeah, so I wasn't really interested.
What about you, Ryan?
That Chiefs game either.
I watched the football game, and I just kind of assumed that the World Series game was over. And I hear Scott Van Pelt on ESPN say nobody's watching us right now, and I was the one person that was still watching him. I'm like, oh yeah, 12th inning, and I stayed up for the last 6. What an unbelievable game that was.
It's commitment. That is a commitment. And then you were out at Pittsburgh over the weekend as well. So, you got to be just running on fumes, figuring this thing out. But luckily it's Human Tuesday. We get to kind of take a breath, figure this thing out. Let's dive into that game on Sunday night. I've been waiting to get you on and just kind of pick your brain on all the things that you thought were amazing. Some of the spots where you want to still see them clean up, but just give us your reaction to that game on Sunday night.
Yeah, take for a moment Aaron Rodgers completely out of the picture, okay? And that's tough to do. Well, I'm sure we'll get back there, but let's take Aaron Rodgers out of the picture. Let's say it was another quality older quarterback, Joe Flacco, a guy that you can win with right now in this league as the Steelers quarterback, a quality opponent on the road at night. I picked the Steelers going in because of the circumstances. Road night games are tough because it's a quality opponent, and for them to then find themselves down 16-7 at halftime and absolutely put the pedal to the floor and keep it there the entire second half. That was a hell of a win for a team that is now 5-1-1, a team that is number 1 in the NFC, and they got the Carolina Panthers this week. The challenge is, of course, don't play down to the Carolina Panthers. They're 4-4, right? Especially with the Philadelphia Eagles coming up next week. But in this conference, it is a loaded conference. There's no dominant team. There are a lot of very good teams in this conference. To be able to stack wins and to get a road win at night in that environment, phenomenal win for this team. And then, oh, by the way, Aaron Rodgers to beat him, that had to be very special. I mean, for everything Aaron Rodgers said last week, and I think it was all genuine. It's clear this is a very special place to him. There's a lot of special relationships here. That's all very genuine. Anyone doubt how much he would have enjoyed just eviscerating this franchise for 4 quarters? Like that, you know how much that would have meant to him, and he played pretty well. I mean, 101.5 passer rating. It's not like he played poorly.
Yeah,
Jordan Love just ran circles around him because that's how good Jordan Love played.
Yeah, in that first half, I mean, it was, there's probably some fans, there's some questions, as Aaron's doing his thing, making checks, like, kind of moving things around, like it was like, oh my gosh, like, are we about to watch Aaron do his thing and dismantle a really good defense here? And then, like you said, that second half was unbelievable. Tommy, I got to give him a shout out from yesterday. He made such a great point how last week was all about Aaron Rodgers, right? It was just like Aaron Rodgers playing his team, all this stuff. No one was really talking about how much this probably meant to Jordan Love to come into this game, prove that they made the right choice to move to him, and for him to take over and play how he did in that second half was so special. So, Tommy, great job there. We'll get to your other comments today later with Ryan, but yesterday you were on point.
Mason loves you.
I do love you, Tommy.
Well, and Jordan Love let it out of the bag when it was all said and done, right? When it was finally over, he was transparent. And he's like, of course, there was a lot of pressure this week. I'm playing against Aaron Rodgers. He knows the situation. For him to come out there, I thought midway through the third quarter, I had the thought, this is outside of maybe a playoff game in Dallas, right, 2023. This is as locked in as I've ever seen him. And really, I think it's pretty easy, for me at least, to pinpoint the 3 best games of his career. It's Dallas wild card game. It's Sunday night against the Steelers. And it was that Thanksgiving game in Detroit. The first time that, I think that might have been when he had 11 straight completions. It was the first time we really saw him put it together in that 2023 season on the road against the Lions. And you start to think, oh, okay, the Packers have another one. And of course they do. If he plays like that the rest of the season, this is the team to beat in the NFC, maybe even the NFL. If he plays like that the rest of the season, he's going to find himself in the MVP conversation. That's the question, though. Is that a one-night high, right? The adrenaline's pumping. You know the situation. There's a lot riding personally as far as a reputation goes on this matchup. Or is that something he can sustain? And Mason, you asked the question, what needs to get better? 16-7 still happened. Right? The second half washed over that. But if this team, for goodness sakes, can ever just put it together for all 4 quarters, I think the Packers' A game is better than any other team's A game in the NFL. Yeah. I think they are the most talented team on paper in the NFL. That is the makings of a Super Bowl champion. But of course, as we know, if you don't put it together for 4 quarters, you can lose to anybody. If you don't reach that potential that you have on your roster and play to that potential, you're not going to the Super Bowl. So that remains the question, I think, throughout the rest of the season. Can they ever just put it together for 4 quarters and be the team that they are constructed to be?
I love that. And talking about guys, that are expected to and have reached their potential, here is we got to talk about Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons. I mean, at this point in the season, if you'd said, hey, between the two of them, they're going to have 14 sacks combined, Rashawn Gary actually, leading the way with 7.5, like what would you have said to that, at the start of the season?
I would have said yes. And you want to talk about meeting expectations. I think that is a picture of meeting expectations. I said immediately after the trade, this will be Rashawn Gary's first double-digit sack season of his entire career. Yep. And with 10 games to go, that just looks like a foregone conclusion.
Looking good, for sure.
Inevitable, matter of time. He has as many sacks now as he had all of last season in 17 games, 10 fewer games. He's 2 away from his career high in 2021 of 9.5.
Yep.
The Micah Parsons effect is palpable. It is a very real thing. Take nothing away from Rashawn Gary. He's got to get home to the quarterback. But that first sack against Aaron Rodgers on Sunday night, the 3rd and 15, Rashawn Gary gets it. I sure thought watching live, Micah Parsons might have a split sack. I mean, he collapsed the pocket. He was in on the sack. The Micah Parsons effect is not just the fact that he has 6.5 sacks, and he's on pace now for a fifth straight dozen sack season to start his career, something that it's rare in NFL history, right? It's what he does to unlock so many plays for other guys.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Ryan. I think we talked about on the show too was exactly what you said. Rashawn Gary is going to benefit so much from Micah Parsons, and he has really stepped up and done that. We got Ryan Wood joining the Mason Crosby Show. Find him at the Green Bay Press Gazette or at by Ryan Wood. Just kind of a little tired from Sunday night, staying up late last night. But you said something that kind of got my brain thinking a little bit. We were talking about wins by the Packers and like where they stand. They're number one in the NFC right now. They are the best odds to win the NFC North. But you also said their A game's better than anyone else's A game in the NFL, but they haven't put that complete game together all the way from start to finish. Is there a team right now in the NFL or NFC, like let's just look at NFC, that maybe does a better job than the Packers of just doing it consistently all the way throughout the course of a game? Is there any team that scares you that way?
I think that's what the NFC is right now, is a collection of very, very good teams without any one dominant monster.
Okay.
The Detroit Lions are an example of, there are games when they put it together all four quarters and they play their A game for a week. But then obviously, unlike the Packers, they've lost more games, and they have games where they're no-shows as well. The Packers haven't done that yet, but I think that's a good thing because it means that there's more out there. And when there's more out there and you're 5-1-1 and number one seed in the conference, that's a good place to be. Now, we'll see in 10 weeks. If they don't ever get to that place, then you're talking about wasted potential. That's not a good thing. But for it being Halloween week, for it being late October and being where they are in the win record tie column, and for there to, that there's more out there, that's a great place to be. The only team in the NFL that I see that does it every single week, and of course their strength of schedule has not been as impressive, but outside the Indianapolis Colts, who just seem to just stomp every opponent they face, I don't see a lot of teams in this league that are putting it together all four quarters every single week. That's just not happening. So the point is, it's not the fact that the Packers haven't done it. They have plenty of company there. It's how much better can they get from here on?
For sure. And then, you talked about the Colts and obviously their elite running game with Jonathan Taylor. I want to talk about the, kind of the approach that the Packers took, especially in that second half, putting Emmanuel Wilson in for a lot more touches, a lot more downs there, giving Josh Jacobs a blow, just showing a different look. What did you think of that decision or that strategy by Coach LaFleur and how that played into their success in the second half?
I thought that was maybe the most impressive part of Jordan Love's night. Like it was very clear that the Packers were nursing Josh Jacobs' calf again. And outside of that touchdown run where he showed an incredible burst, making the sidestep, outrunning a tackle to the pylon, he did not play like Josh Jacobs. So that calf injury sure seems to be something that is affecting him. And take nothing away from Emmanuel Wilson. He played well. But at halftime, you're Jordan Love, and boy, we don't have Josh Jacobs fully healthy right now. We don't have that run game. And Matt, 37 passes, 29 of 37. The fact that he almost threw 40 passes, that is never the recipe for this offense. This offense is built on balance. It's built on having that power run game set up the play action pass. You don't see very often Matt LaFleur just put a game on his quarterback's back. That he wants to have that balance in his offense. He did that with Jordan Love, and he responded with 20 straight completions. He completed 78% of his passes and averaged 9.7 yards per pass. That's absurd mix of efficiency and explosiveness that at that position, that's when quarterback play is at its highest, when you have that efficiency and explosiveness. Take nothing away from Emmanuel Wilson. He gave them a semblance of run game in the second half, and that's obviously very important. But the fact that they had to put the entire game on their quarterback and Jordan Love delivered like that to me was what was most impressive.
Ryan Woods with us from the Green Bay Press Gazette, part of the USA Today network, here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. Ryan, what do you do with Nate Hobbs? Where can he have a role on this defense after we saw the snap discrepancy between him and Valentine this weekend?
Start him for Keyshawn Nixon if Keyshawn Nixon has a couple more weeks like that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Controversy.
They clearly were not patient with Nate Hobbs in a way that obviously Carrington Valentine went in and started Sunday night. They're going to be more patient with Keyshawn Nixon. But the point is, it's good to have depth. All right. If the Packers still feel confident in Nate Hobbs, which I believe they do, it's not the worst thing to have more guys at corner than you can put on the field. What they need to do at that position to stop having to be like whack-a-mole, like this week it's your off day, this week it's your off day. They need to all bring it at the same time, because at that position, if you got a guy that's having an off day, it's easy to pick on him. It's easy to target him and get a lot of plays, explosive plays like the Steelers were able to. So they're going to have depth. I think what Carrington Valentine did so well is what he's done since coming into the league as a scrappy 7th round pick. I mean, he just fights for everything. Like he is competitive. He might go down. He might get beat like he did on that touchdown late in the 4th quarter, but he's going to fight and claw and try to scrape that football out. And he's not going to give up on a play. I think you admire that type of pluck at that position.
That's interesting. And I was just looking, talking about Keyshawn Nixon a little bit, has had some, has played pretty well during the season. Obviously, maybe not his best night on Sunday, but what do you think they do? I just looked at his contract. He has another year after this season. Is he a guy that it's like, hey, I'm playing every snap as the primary corner? Is he going to be looking to get paid this offseason and get an extension?
I'd like to see how his season ends, because if he bounces back from Sunday night, plays to the level that he has for most of this season, which is why they're going to be patient, because the sample size, you look at 7 games, the sample size, he's been good 6 out of 7, right? I mean, he's been pretty consistent. If he's able to finish that way, and then at some point show that he can take away the football, pass breakups are great. You don't want to give up completions, but a great corner takes away the ball. If he can show that, then yeah, he might be in line. I still think he has more work to do before that point comes. If it finishes, if the season ended today, I think they just play him on his final year.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was just curious about that as I looked at his kind. For some reason, I thought this was his last year on it, but he does have that one more year, and it's a fairly low number. And I can't imagine a guy like that who feels like he's earned it and all that wouldn't push to try to get something done. And kind of try to force the Packers' hand if he finishes out the season successfully. So
we know that Keyshawn Nixon will push. I mean, it was immediately after Philadelphia last season when he said, "I'm not doing kickoff returns anymore. I'm a number 1 corner." And you admire that self-belief and that self-confidence. At the end of the day, there's still a half a season left. I want to see how that turns out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, while we got you, Ryan, I want to jump forward. I know it's Tuesday, probably haven't done a deep dive, but let's talk about this game coming up this week against Carolina. Kind of a weird team. This is one of those games that you just you worry a little bit about. Obviously, got dismantled by the Buffalo Bills. What do you think about this team, and what do you think the Packers need to do to get back at home and be successful against the Carolina Panthers team?
You just look at the schedule after what happened Sunday night, and I think the automatic thought is, oh, this is a game that they should stomp the Panthers. So it's the Carolina Panthers, right? You look at last week, they lost by 70 touchdowns. They should stomp this team. And then you see, oh, they're 4-4. This is a competitive team. This isn't exactly your Carolina Panthers of the last couple of years. That said, their home road splits are pretty stark. They have not been a good team on the road. They almost lost to the New York Jets in New York. This is a game that the Packers absolutely should win. They should win handily. I don't know how high a point spread you want to talk, especially in this league, which is a lot of close games. But this should not be a close game that goes down to the 4th quarter. But the Packers have to make it that way. And for that reason, I think this is a really big week for them, because at times this season, they have played down to their competition. Is that something that they're able to put in their rearview mirror, move on, be the type of team that they should be, or are they going to play down to their competition, maybe with an eye on next week, Monday night showdown against those Philadelphia Eagles? You want to talk about trap games? I mean, this is what a trap game looks like, right? Yep. You got to make it not a
favored by 12 and a half, something like that to start the week. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were favored by 14 and a half against the Bengals, handily, won by 9, but they certainly didn't. didn't blow them out. They were favored huge in Cleveland, lost that game. They're favored huge again. Can you win huge? Can you take care of business, or are you going to play with your food?
I think this is a week that they have an opportunity again to try to get some turnovers, because that's my biggest thing is like, can this team play this formula and go win a Super Bowl without being able to turn the ball over? It's kind of wild how few turnovers they have and how much success they've had to this point. So in your opinion, can they carry this formula? Say the turnovers never come in bunches. Like, is that a formula to be able to go and win a championship?
Mason, they have 4 takeaways.
I know, it's crazy.
7 games. That is absolutely wild.
Bizarre.
And what's wild about it, more than the numbers, their play style is exactly the play style you would expect of a team that has a high takeaway
pressure
rate.
Yeah.
Like, they're always creating havoc. Can they sustain this? They make it way harder on themselves if they don't take away the football, right? And why that matters is because no matter how good you are, how dominant you are on defense, you are playing NFL offenses. The idea that you can just force them off the field and not give up any drives week in and week out and not take the football, every once in a while, an NFL offense is bound to put a drive together.
Yeah.
Like that's going to happen. And the takeaways is where it kind of puts your defense on training wheels. It's a huge assist to say we don't have to just do it the hard way every single drive of every single week. They make a mistake, we capitalize on it, drive over. To do what they're doing without doing that's exponentially more difficult. Can they sustain that? I don't know. I think they're going to be a very good defense without the takeaways, but I don't know that they could be a great defense if you don't take away the football.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is one of those games. I think Carolina has a tendency. They had 3 turnovers against the Bills, and they were just gross, kind of weird ones as well. So I do think at home, leading up to the Eagles, because again, the Eagles are one of those teams. If you don't try to get takeaways, get more possessions against them, they are the type of team that will plod along and find a way to beat you late in games. So I think this is that game that if the Packers can find a way to get a few turnovers, kind of just get that taste in their mouth, it can maybe spur something on for the rest of the season. But I'm excited about it. I think this is one of those games where you just try to play that complete game, dominate from start to finish, and then move on to the Eagles.
No, I think that's a great point, Mason. The reason that this is a bad matchup for the Carolina Panthers is that Bryce Young does not have the veteran wherewithal of an Aaron Rodgers, of a Joe Flacco, of a Dak Prescott to know that no matter what happens, the only thing that really matters on a single play is how quickly you get rid of the football against this pass rush. That's what those quarterbacks did. This is more of a Jacoby Brissett that's going to, try to – he doesn't have that wherewithal of catch and release. Jacoby Brissett got sacked 6 times. Obviously, the sack fumble, Rashawn Gary holding on to it too longer than you can against this pass rush. You would expect Bryce Young to play more that way. And if he does, you have to capitalize on that. And then to your point of turnovers are such a momentum-based thing. Like it's like when you gone a long time without sacks. Look, Rashawn Gary had a sack drought this season. After Cleveland, he won a few games with that, and now he got that taste back in his mouth with that sack fumble against Jacoby Brissett in Phoenix, and then he gets 2 against Aaron Rodgers, and that momentum is back. Takeaways are the same way. Somehow you need to get the ball rolling on that. You need to get that taste in your mouth, that momentum back. If they're able to do that this week, it would be huge.
All right. Love it. Ryan Wood, really appreciate you. Get some rest, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Ryan. That's Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, joining us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Before we get to break, Mason, I saw the news that SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey sent a letter to the NCAA president asking them to halt the ruling about allowing athletes and athletic personnel to start betting on November 1st. He said the message of our presidents and chancellors was clear and united. This policy change represents a major step in the wrong direction.
Oh my God, we're like agreeing with the SEC commissioner now. That's
and like,
where we're at.
Is the NCAA strong enough to stand up to the SEC? Or once the SEC says something, isn't that pretty much the law?
I mean, it has been in the past. So.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Milwaukee Bucks as well. When
Only
we come
SEC coaches are allowed to bet on games.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I want to see Nick Saban's underdog next week.
Yeah, exactly.
You can only bet against the Badgers in the spread. That's what's legal.
That's why he's rich. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Programming note today at 3:00. Want to let everybody know that Sojourn Shelton, former Wisconsin Badger cornerback, is going to be joining Sparky at the top of the 3:00 hour on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. So he'll have some words for the current coaches and administration at the university. I'm sure he has some feels.
Yeah, Sparky's going to get them all fired up.
Oh, yeah, he is. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. Again, our thanks to Ryan Wood from the Green Bay Press Gazette, who joined us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. If you missed him or any of our amazing award-winning segments here on the Mason Crosby Show, you can find them wherever you listen to your podcast. Just search the Mason Crosby Show. They will pop up. You can listen to the whole show. You can listen to one segment. You can go back and listen to last Friday when we had Big Mike McCarthy on the show.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. Fantastic. Yep. He should be a weekly guest, I feel like. He's not doing anything.
Right after McAfee, just jump on.
Yeah, like that should be his thing.
Yeah,
like do McAfee, then do Mason. Done.
You know what else is award-winning?
Kicker, punter, kicker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
makes sense to me.
Yeah, he loves us. He loves us.
Yes, he does. He does now.
Kickers.
Yeah.
You know what else is award-winning, Mitch, is your orange turtleneck. I didn't bring that up earlier.
Oh, man.
I kind of just noticed it last segment. I was like, wait, is that a mock turtle?
That is a mock turtleneck,
and that is,
yep.
I mean, you're ready for fall. Like, you're deep in fall with
so
that.
I got dressed this morning, and Ellie, a.k.a. Mrs. Thunder, said, you look like a pumpkin spice latte today.
Yeah, you do.
Little cinnamon stick in
Want
there.
want a little taste.
Yeah. This is my fall mock turtle. I hate the University of Texas, like from a sports standpoint. Okay. I've never been a Texas fan, so it's not for Texas or anything.
Is it burnt orange or more pumpkin
orange?
It's more pumpkin, but it's not like bright Tennessee orange.
I would say it's closer to Oklahoma State than it is to anything.
It feels very fall. Yeah,
it's
just
fall.
Like
it's fall
colors.
Orange. Yeah, just fall. It's, you know what?
Autumn.
Yes, that's what it is. It is autumn. It is comfy, cozy. I'm like all wrapped up in it. It's a little big, even though I'm fatter than I used to be. It's still a little big. And so that kind of like feels good.
I like
because
it, well, like yesterday, you had the black hoodie on. I couldn't even see you with the background.
Right.
It was blending in.
Well, and it had blue writing on it too.
It looked exactly like you were just blended into the background.
You know, if Sparky wants to give me a black hoodie with our logo on it, like either our local affiliate here in Milwaukee or the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, which is also blue and black. I will wear that logo.
When are they going to require us to wear uniforms?
When are we getting gear? Yeah, Tommy, you should know this.
I'm wearing a polo today, so I'm all over the place.
Tommy's all messed up. He's so corporate.
I've never.
What are you dressed up for, bro?
I don't know. It's Tuesday, I guess. Like I was just.
I don't know what that means.
What do you mean? Like everyone's here on Tuesday.
Oh, that's why.
Like everyone's here, so
trying to make a good impression.
Right. It was just like better not wear sandals and sweatpants like I do every other day. So I'm wearing khakis and a polo. Yeah, I know. It's
unbelievable.
It's totally fake.
He's
like,
very monochrome. He's like wearing like khakis and polo the same color. It's like he could like the wall.
Different shades.
Different shades, but you could definitely blend into the ecru wall behind you.
He goes very National Park Ranger, like all the time.
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm in my Indiana Jones era right now, I guess, or Jurassic Park.
So we'll get to the Bucs in a second, but I did want to touch on this SEC and this gambling thing. And I know it's not, we could table this for Friday business of sports as well. But I feel like this is the one conference that when they tell the SEC, when they tell the NCAA, like we want something, the NCAA figures out a way to do it. And I think we all believe that athletes gambling on professional sports is probably a really bad idea. Like you just graduated with a guy from last year who's now playing in the pros. He's giving you all the inside information. You're betting on his over-unders.
Seriously.
Like this is not a good situation.
It's not a good situation. And who decided to roll it out November 1st?
Right.
Like what in the world?
Let's not do any research. Let's just start it November 1st.
All right. Like there's been a little pressure. Nobody's nobody has filed a lawsuit to combat it. So that's all that happened here is they release this. SEC gets together with attorneys and they're like, all right, well, I guess we got to come forward and say this is a bad idea. Somebody has to tell the NCAA that they're idiots. So maybe they'll listen to us because we're the SEC. Yeah. So.
All right, so I just wanted to, we'll tease that. I'm sure that's a developing story
for sure.
Meanwhile, the 2-1 New York Knicks are in Milwaukee tonight to take on the 2-1 Milwaukee Bucks. Kevin Porter Jr. still not playing. Kyle
playing
Kuzma,
for that 4 seed, right?
Yeah, that's right. Kyle Kuzma is. They think he'll play. Cole Anthony was out with an illness, so he is expected to play.
Okay.
So it sounds just like KPG. Kuzma's kind of questionable right now.
What happened to Kuzma? I didn't even.
I know
he was out last game.
Same exact thing that happened to Kevin Porter Jr. He was playing defense. He jumped up and he landed on somebody's ankle and turned his ankle. Yeah. Tommy, did I say something wrong?
You said KPG.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Have you done that before, Mitch? Have you rolled your ankle there in your Sunday league?
Yes. You know what? I remember the worst I ever did was my senior year in high school. I wasn't playing high school ball anymore. I was playing like in a rec league. And the night before the championship game, we were messing around at a buddy's in a buddy's driveway, and I turned my ankle, and it was not good. So I got a brace. I got like the thing you put your foot in and then tie it as tight as you can all the way up. Yeah. And I like hobbled and I played okay. Like I played, but I wasn't.
I think as in basketball, if you're like an outside shooter and you're not having to go in and scrap and get boards and things.
I'm a rebounder. I'm a bruiser.
Tough. Yeah. So my worst, like I've had one of those, like it's the worst feeling. You go up and like you come down on someone's foot and it's just like, everything's gone. Right. It's just like, oh gosh, that roll in basketball. I had one, kind of one of the weird ones I had, and it's the same thing, off the field injury. Yeah. Playing in a 3-on-3 national soccer tournament. Okay. We're playing the semifinals the next day. Night before, we're playing like hide and seek in the dark, like running around like hotel rooms outside. I split my toes on a chair and broke my my second toe. And obviously I have to tell my dad. My dad's coaching our team, and I'm like, I broke my toe, Dad. Like, what do you? And he's like, you tape them together and you play the game, you idiot. Like, you shouldn't have been doing that last night. I knew the answer. I knew I was playing, but I'm like, all right. So I taped it up, and it's like, flat-footed running around a soccer field. It's not the best way, but I got it done though. We won. We won the national championship. Yep. No big deal.
So Knicks are 2.5-point favorites tonight. Odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Really? At home? In
Milwaukee. I mean, the Knicks are widely respected as one of the top teams in the East. I think the Bucks have had a nice start to the season, though, Mace. You beat Washington the way you should. You beat it by 13. You then go and you take care of business. Who's their second game against? I don't even remember now. Who they beat Friday
Raptors?
Night? Oh, they take care of Toronto in a tight game, and then a very competitive game against Cleveland. Yeah, and Cleveland is widely acknowledged as the best team in the East. I think this team looks like as advertised. Like they are pushing the tempo a little bit more. They're shooting pretty well. I feel like Gary Trent Jr. and AJ Green are settling into their roles as starters. They're shooting well. They're playing pretty good D. Miles Turner, I saw somebody, I don't know if it was Eric Name from The Athletic or somebody, posted some of the advanced analytics about when Miles Turner's on the court versus not, that this is a top 5 defensive team when he is, and they're like 21st when he's not. So overall, they're 11th so far. It's only 3 games. Yeah. But like Miles Turner, there was
difference maker.
Tommy, we were watching Sunday while we were texting with Mason while we were watching the beginning of the Packers game, where Miles Turner just had like a few blocks in a row, and it was like he really is, that
you kept texting
big.
block.
Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah, he has a lot more athleticism in his blocking game too than Brook Lopez did. I know.
I mean, Brook is a beast,
right?
But Miles is an athlete.
Yeah, Miles makes some plays that I think Brook could not make as far as getting blocks goes. I don't know if his play has necessarily been, like Brook Lopez, but younger or whatever, but he does. You see it. You see the shades of it in there, and I think that's a good start for Miles Turner.
Mace, the game's on NBC tonight. Like nice. It was on national TV.
Well, I got the NBA package just so I can watch all the games. Yeah.
So it's NBC and Peacock tonight.
Nice.
It's on the P.
That's what's a wild time though in the NBA, like where you have Giannis playing point basically. I see, like watch Wembanyama like running down the court, taking the ball.
He's been the best player in the world so far.
It's just unbelievable, like what the game is now. It's like, I get it, put the ball in your star's hand, but it's just wild that these guys at 6'9", 7'6", whatever Wemby is they're taking the ball and doing what they want to do, right? Like it's wild.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. It's fun to watch. I know it's early for a lot of casual fans. You don't start paying attention until Thanksgiving or even Christmas or whatever it is. But Knicks are in town this week. Warriors are in town on Thursday. It's going to be a fun game tonight, fun week of basketball. And it's just, and enough of like, there was another report, like Bleacher Report had another trade this morning of like, well, yeah, how can we get Giannis to Golden State? Jimmy Butler goes to Detroit and the Bucks get like 7 like okay players. And it's like, really? This is like what we're still doing? It's crazy.
Yeah, because like, isn't the whole thing is he wants to win championships, and the Bucks have a team like built to have a shot at that, right? I mean, it's like, I mean, they do. Like they have a shot, especially with Giannis. You bring in Miles Turner. I mean, they could catch fire and get this thing done. Like, if they don't this year, then those conversations could happen. But I hate it. I hate it going on right now. It's just nonsense.
But, and I think as Milwaukee fans and as here in the state of Wisconsin, being Bucks fans, we can just rejoice that Giannis is here. Like, Giannis isn't going anywhere tomorrow. Like, let's just lean into this, right? Let's just enjoy it.
Enjoy the ride.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz in the house. Mason's extra points are next on this Human of Human Tuesdays. I don't even know what that means. But it's the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. Humanity. Woo!
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Oh, what a great show, fellas. Tommy and his polo, and Mitch rocking the mock turtle. I mean, we should have had Coach Mike McCarthy on today, and you should have been rocking the mock turtle.
Great point.
Nobody wore him better than Coach. So, we talked a lot of things. Kind of recap some of the Packers stuff. Had Ryan Wood on at one. If you missed that, some really great insight there. We got into a little bit of the sports business and some of those things, and I wanted to dive back into the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. And if you have anything, it's awesome. A lot of interaction today. It was great. But there was a question in there from 414 ended in 3463. Is it crazy to think that Ohtani is underpaid? I love that. And I want to throw this back to Mitch, because Mitch said this question when I asked about the Packers, and if the NFL ever went to a system like MLB where it wasn't shared revenue. Mitch said that the Packers would leave instantly. Yeah. And 920 said, I call BS on Packers moving within seconds. We have no true owner. The people would never allow it to happen. What do you think about that, Mitch?
That is, it's the biggest joke I've ever heard in my entire life. The people have no power here. You're talking about billionaires running a business. Like the owners, the NFL actually give a crap about the people of Green Bay. They don't. They don't. Do you think they would
move to Milwaukee, or would they move somewhere else?
I think they would find the highest bidder. If the highest bidder is Milwaukee, great. If the highest bidders, I don't even know what markets need a football team right now that don't have one. But if it was truly a MLB system, there's no way. There's no way.
No salary cap.
Who would afford? Like who would run the money? Like Green Bay doesn't. Like the city of Green Bay doesn't have the coffers to own a football team.
We're not talking about the city of Green Bay. We're talking about the brand, the Green Bay Packers.
Team.
But what about it? But
like it's a corporation,
right?
It's a corporation, so it's all that money that they make revenue from the stadium.
But who's running it? If it's an MLB system, like it would be a
corporation. Yeah, you'd run it like a company.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could sustain it in Green Bay.
They literally are one of the biggest football brands still by themselves. It does not matter.
Okay, all right, that's great. But I
don't think that the Green Bay Packers could be more successful than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They would need an owner. They would need an owner. They would need an owner.
No, they wouldn't.
I don't think so. I think they would actually.
Right, but they're in a system where there's complete revenue sharing. Without revenue sharing, it's great that their brand is great, but they're still in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It would actually grow the city of Green Bay, maybe.
That could be a way, though. Like that, like we talked about before, is like. If that system happens, somebody says like, I'm going to buy this brand. And then an ownership group comes in and tries
I don't think it's feasible
to buy it to give an influx of capital.
I think it does not matter at all that it's the small city of Green Bay.
Right. I think that's a cute way that Wisconsinites think about it. That they think they pat themselves on their back for having the Green Bay Packers.
Large corporation still successful.
That's not how Earth works.
That they're still successful in Green Bay right now.
In a revenue sharing system where they can spend $300-400 million.
Yeah.
If other markets are getting hundreds of millions more than they are, and
why?
the money
why are the Packers not getting more money than the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Because they're in Green Bay.
Than Jacksonville. Why are they not in the top 32 right now? If that's happening?
I think Jacksonville will probably go away also.
I
don't think Jacksonville could sustain a team.
I think the Green Bay Packers are just fine because they have built an insane.
Well, luckily for you guys, it'll never happen, so I can never prove you wrong.
All right.
Okay. Fine.
So the Packers' total revenue for 2024 was $719 million.
That's awesome. How much of that is from the NFL? Half?
Let's see.
So all of a sudden there's zero. All of a sudden that goes to zero.
Local revenue was $286 million.
Right.
So that's just there in Green Bay.
Which is great. But when New York is 1.2 billion.
But they would still get TV money. They would still get, you still get to, I think MLB still shares all of that. They don't just
only the national deals.
The national deals. Yeah.
But there wouldn't be, there'd be local deals. If you're really opening it up to a free for all, like Major League Baseball is, nobody's paying for the right. Like, I get that the Packers are a brand, but it's not the same as having a New York.
I think
LA
the Packers would be able to carve out their own thing. I bet they would be making $600 million a year without the NFL.
Right, and everybody else is
money
making
share.
1.5, and that you can't compete.
No, they would.
But they would be able to spend all of it.
Yeah,
because they don't have an
So
owner.
would the other teams.
No, they wouldn't though because they have an owner.
All right.
I love that conversation.
Yeah, I do.
Appreciate it, fellas. I know we got a break, but awesome show. Nice Tuesday. You'll have a great one tomorrow, and we'll do it again on Thursday.
I miss you already.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Tommy, great job. Our thanks again to Ryan Wood for jumping on. This has been the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We are in the Wisconsin Sports Radio studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bucks Knicks tonight. Let's go Bucks.
Let's go Bucks.
I was so